Nice. Yeah.
Yo, yo, yo. Alrighty. So you thought I forgot? I never forget. So we're doing a weekly breakdown on one ticker for the rest of 2021. The poll that was on my IG was either NIO or Open, and NIO won the poll. I don't have the saved screenshot, but NIO won, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I really have always wanted to follow a stock for a super long duration of time because I would describe myself as a swing trader. So a lot of the times I'll just swing one move of the trade and then I'll exit it. I'm just now starting to like really hold positions for a longer period of time, and that's been giving me a larger like return on my investment. So I think it'll be really cool to see just one stock and how the price action moves and to see how it grows on as we go throughout the year. So I thought that would be super interesting to do. So right now we have NIO here, right? It has made its ways from the lows of $2.31 to as high as $66 in the past 1 year. So from March 20 So from March 2020 up until January 11th, it has made a massive return of over 2,600%. If you happen to be one of those bulls, dude, oh, you're a beast. If you've been holding for that long, you're a monster. You're an absolute monster. What a trade. But if you haven't gotten into NIO and you're looking for opportunities, well, I still believe there's plenty of opportunities to come because I do think that this stock will eventually go a lot higher. Now, what makes me say that? Well, the sector that NIO is in, it is an electric vehicle company. If we look at other electric car companies like Tesla, this is supposed to be the Tesla of China. So let's expect this to have some legs on it. Now, what another thing that's telling me that it's going to end up running is this nice bullish uptrend. If we look at Tesla, it's a very bullish uptrend. This is one that has been uptrending for a long time now. We're going to use the trend as our friend and we're just going to ride the wave. So let's start breaking it down here, right? If we zoom all the way in back to March 2020, right? We're going to start to see how NIO likes playing chart patterns. And you'll start to see it from here, right? Like we have some sort of triangle in this range. If we get this all tightened up here, there's the very first triangle that NIO happened to break out of. It made its high at $4.69, came down to $2.06, and then it started to play out in that range. And then we get the breakout. And as you see here, what happened is when it made the breakout, it broke out and it came back to retest the triangle, and then it went for its further move, right? Now we could start dissecting each and every move. Like it created a small bull flag, then it had its break, came back to test, but we're just going to zoom into the larger moves here just so I could show you chart patterns work, and we're going to really dissect it throughout the year on NIO because we're going to watch it develop from 1 to 2 times a week. So there's another triangle that comes from $16 at the high, makes its low at 10.50, and then it plays sideways for, let's see how many days, just over a month, 39 days. So there's two triangles already. Now what happens here is we get another triangle right after the first one. So let's zoom in again and draw out the triangle. So if you're learning about triangles and you want to learn how to play them, they're an awesome trade to find. But the way you play the triangle is you either want to get in on the bottom trend line or you want to get in on the break of the triangle, the bull break of the triangle. So how can you tell that the bull break is coming? You'll usually see a large spike in bull volume. So if we look down here, large spike in bull volume, and then we break out. If we look over here, we didn't get the large spike in bull volume, but this large candlestick gave us a great sign that like this is going to continue going. And then if we zoom in, we have a nice bull flag pattern right out of the triangle. So bull flags are a continuation pattern, which means expect higher prices to come when you see a nice clean bull flag like this. Perfect. And then what happens? Big volume, another breakout. We get another bull flag right after the bull flag there. So we know for sure NIO loves chart patterns. So let's pay attention to that. And if you happen to see and you're paying attention to NIO and you spot out a chart pattern, comment down below on the NIO videos and call it out, so then we can mark it up on the charts as we go out throughout the year. So as we move in, it has made its move now from $2.06 at the low all the way up to, we're at like $30 at this point, and it's purely chart patterns. So that's exactly what you want to see. Now, as you notice, it has been riding the 20 EMA perfectly on its way up. Like, a good way to stay in this trade is to buy in. Say you bought in at like $3. If you wanted to stay in this trade, you just let the 20 EMA do its thing. And if it were to break below the 20 EMA and then it were to use it as resistance instead of support, that's when you exit. So if you were following that rule, this 20 EMA kept you in the trade pretty much all the way up until December 2020, which would have gave you like a massive trade, a 2,000% trade. As you can see, we'll continue on. We got another bull flag, but the flag part is pretty much a triangle. Another triangle. As you can see, this chart does not play around with the triangles. Now we have another bull flag happening here. So what do we expect to happen here on NIO? There's higher prices coming. We just don't know when. So look at all these chart patterns. Bull flag after triangle. Like, it's just what we want to see. This chart is our friend, and it'll be nice to play this throughout 2021. So if you aren't in, there is plenty opportunity to come. So there's nothing to worry about. I'm not in, and I've played some of these triangles on the way up, but I should have held, which is okay. We live, we learn. Hey, what can you do, right? There's learning opportunities everywhere in this market. So let's dive into some supply and demand zones on NIO right now after we pointed out all these triangles. So right off the hop, I noticed that this area was once our previous resistance or supply zone because it got stuffed in this range. So it got stuffed up here, but then as we drag it out, it wants to act as a demand zone now because it was a supply. We get the rejection, but then when we break over, it's now acting as a demand because we see a buy up, and we see all these wicks coming from this range. We want to see this $55 range. It goes from $54 to $56. This we want to see as a demand zone for the rest of the year. We don't want to see it break below this level, because if it does break below this level, well, then we're going to have to look at previous demand and previous supply and think, well, where could it potentially come down to? It could potentially come down to here if it breaks through, which is around $39, $40. And if we zoom in to get some more detail, it looks like this area right here is also acting as some sort of supply for a small period of time. It could fall back down into that range. So these are just things we want to be wary of while we're trading NIO and while we're keeping an eye on it. So if it doesn't hold up in this $54 to $56 range, pay attention to previous demand zones or previous supply zones that we want to see act as demand if it falls through. So we're going to be paying attention to this $47 to $49 range. We're going to be paying attention to the $38 to $40 range. These are our areas where if NIO breaks through, we want to see those areas act as demand, so then it could get bought up from there. I don't think that will eventually happen. I do think this stock is very bullish, and I do think we will see higher prices soon. So if we want to mark out, okay, well, where are these higher prices going to come from? We'll use our Fibonacci extension tool. Come here, go to the high of the move, and then we'll pull it back here. If we use that, it says $80 is around our first target. That makes complete sense to me because there's other banks and companies that are valuating NIO at around $75 to $80 right now. So it wouldn't be a surprise if price action takes us there. We also have a nice wedge pattern that's happening right now with this little period of consolidation. It is creating a wedge. Now we could just mark it out like this. And there's the bottom trend line, and here's the top trend line, and that's our wedge. So we want to see it break out of this range soon with big bull volume and then make its way up to $80. Right now, this stock is very bullish. Congrats to anyone who's been holding, but I'm looking forward to all the opportunity that's coming on this stock. If you happen to be interested in NIO, I hope that these videos that I'll be dropping up to 2 times a week, updates on NIO, will help you keep updated and be able to find an opportunity to get in when you get the chance. So cheers, guys. Peace.